Let's talk about a story that's been making waves all over social media. Because when headlines mix sports, controversy, and identity, you know it's going to be polarizing. Brittney Griner, one of the most dominant and recognizable figures in women's basketball, has once again found herself at the center of public scrutiny. But this time, it's not because of a block, a dunk, or her time spent detained in Russia. No, this time, it's because of a so-called leaked footage that's been used to reignite an old and frankly offensive debate about her gender, just days after the media storm surrounding Caitlin Clark reached its peak. So, what's going on? Well, first, let's rewind. Brittney Griner is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, a WNBA champion, and one of the few female players in the world with the power, height, and skill to regularly dunk in games. She's been making headlines for over a decade, both for her dominance on the court and for her outspoken stance on social issues, including LGBTQ+ rights and prison reform. Griner has always lived authentically. She's never hidden who she is. She's proud. She's bold. And she's often polarizing. That's part of what makes her such a powerful figure in modern sports. But then enter Caitlin Clark, a young, electrifying sharpshooter who exploded into the national spotlight thanks to her jaw-dropping range, her swagger, and her record-breaking performances in the NCAA. She's been called the Steph Curry of women's basketball, and she's already changed the way the WNBA is covered in the media. With Clark's entry into the league, viewership has skyrocketed, arenas are fuller, and the game is evolving. She's not just a rookie, she's a phenomenon. And as with any major shift in public attention, tension follows. Some of it natural, some of it media-driven, and some of it rooted in something deeper, something more toxic. Over the last few weeks, stories have emerged alleging that veteran players in the WNBA haven't welcomed Clark with open arms. Some fans claim Clark has been unfairly targeted, both physically and verbally on the court. Clips of hard fouls, body checks, and cold shoulders have gone viral. And soon, speculation morphed into accusation. Was it jealousy? Was it race? Was it about her being hyped up before proving herself? That's when things started to get ugly. Commentators online began dissecting every interaction Clark had with other players, especially veterans like Brittney Griner. When Griner, who recently returned to play after her Russian detainment, made some pointed remarks about the media circus around Clark, the internet lit up. People took her words out of context. Others accused her of trying to tear down a rising star. And in the whirlwind of social media opinion, people started digging. That's when the so-called leaked footage began to circulate. This video, grainy, unclear, and with zero credible sourcing, allegedly shows Griner in a private moment, fueling the age-old and deeply problematic rumor that she is not really a woman. Let's pause here, because this isn't new. This rumor has plagued Brittney since her college days. She's heard it all. The jokes, the questions, the whispers. And unfortunately, the same narrative has resurfaced any time she does something. Exceptional on the court, because some people still believe that a woman shouldn't be able to dominate physically the way she does. So instead of accepting her as an extraordinary athlete, they question her identity. This time, though, the video came with a twist. It was weaponized. The timing was no accident. It dropped right after the Clark controversy hit fever pitch. And suddenly, social media was flooded with posts like, "No wonder she's mad at Caitlin. She's hiding something." Or, "Is the WNBA protecting Brittney Griner's secret?" Let's be absolutely clear here. Brittney Griner is a cisgender woman. She has always identified as a woman. She's simply tall, strong, and unapologetically herself. And the idea that a woman must fit into a narrow box of femininity in order to be believed or accepted is outdated and harmful. What's worse, spreading unverified clips and conspiracy theories to invalidate a person's identity is not just cruel, it's dangerous. As the footage made the rounds, Griner didn't initially respond publicly. But sources close to the Phoenix, Mercury, say she was deeply hurt. She's dealt with adversity before, from being bullied in school to being detained in a Russian prison. But this hit differently. It wasn't about her performance. It wasn't about her politics. It was about her humanity. And in the age of viral misinformation, even baseless attacks can cause real damage. It's not just Griner who suffers. When these types of rumors go viral, they harm every woman who doesn't fit into a narrowly defined version of femininity. They reinforce stereotypes, silence individuality, and shame strength. And they also draw attention away from what should really matter: the game. This entire situation highlights the uncomfortable intersection of sports, gender, race, and fame. Caitlin Clark, as a young white star, is being heavily promoted and protected by the media. That doesn't mean she doesn't deserve her spotlight. She absolutely does. But it does mean we have to look at how the narratives are shaped. Why is Clark framed as the innocent newcomer, while Griner, who spent her career advocating for others, is suddenly cast as a villain? To her credit, Clark hasn't fed into the drama. She's stayed focused on playing. In interviews, she's avoided controversy, choosing to uplift the game and her teammates. But silence from others has been noticeable. Many players and organizations who preach support for women's rights and equality have stayed quiet about the attacks on Griner. Maybe it's fear of backlash. Maybe it's discomfort. But silence, in this case, speaks volumes. In the wake of all this, several WNBA legends and commentators have stepped up. Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, and even Diana Taurasi have publicly defended Griner, calling out the double standards and demanding respect. They know what it's like to be scrutinized, to be judged, and to be reduced to something less than human, simply for being great at what you do. And now, fans are starting to push back too. Hashtags like "Fists Stand with Griner" have begun to trend. Analysts are urging the media to focus on facts, not speculation. And while the damage of the leaked footage and the cruel rumors can't be fully undone, the conversation is starting to shift. We're being reminded that athletes are more than just entertainers. They're people with feelings, histories, and identities that deserve to be respected. Brittney Griner has given her all to the game. She's inspired a generation of young athletes to be bold, to be different, and to be proud. And she shouldn't have to defend her identity just to do what she loves. As for the video, it's already been debunked by several independent sources. It was manipulated, misrepresented, a clear case of digital misinformation being used to stoke outrage and drive clicks. But the harm it caused is real, and it won't be the last time someone like Griner becomes a target. So what can we do? We can hold each other accountable. We can question the narratives we're being fed, and we can choose to support athletes not just when they're winning, but when they're being unfairly torn down. This isn't just about Brittney Griner. It's about every woman, every LGBTQ+ person, and every individual who's ever been told they don't belong because of who they are. Griner isn't in panic. She's in pain, but she's not broken. She's showing up to practice. She's speaking with young fans. She's dunking. She's laughing. She's living. And that, more than anything, is what makes her unstoppable. So the next time a rumor goes viral or a video starts trending, take a moment. Ask yourself, is this truth or is it just noise? Because athletes like Brittney Griner deserve more than just our attention. They deserve our respect. Our respect.